Welcome to Moonlight Madness, and today we're doing the sign for, let's get this camera to work. That's better. We're doing, no, it's not. Okay, we're doing the sign for air signs, sun, moon and rising. This is my second attempt, so I don't know what's going on with communication. Maybe someone's struggling to communicate how they truly feel to someone else. Maybe there's a problem with communication. It's a blockage, is what I'm getting here. Something's being blocked. So the first deck I'm using today is a really old one. It's called the Fairy Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And the second one I'm using is Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light Oracle deck, which is a really good deck. And so I've got an orange candle because it's representing of Halloween. So this is Halloween readings for air signs, sun, moon and rising. And it's a candle spell that I'm doing, which is orange. Orange is representative of increasing energy, stamina, improving the mind and memory, promoting success and luck, developing business and career, and helping those with new jobs. Legal matters and justice, selling goods or houses, capturing a thief or recovering lost property, and removing fear. So the magic of this one is I had to on the candle, and it rid of fear is what I was trying to do with it. There, already. I did have it. I thought I folded the page. There it is. To remove fear and phobias. If you have an inner fear that you want to conquer, prepare an orange candle and scrub it with your name and the words "remove my fear." Anoint phobias next to it and light it. And rose quartz prevents worry. So hold a piece in your hand and say this spell 7 times. In your hand, and say this spell 7 times. This crystal, remove my fear. With this candle settled here, see this photo and make it be an agreeable thing for me to see. Place the crystal next to the candle, which I just did, and then put the fear that you have. Well, mine's nightmares. I have nightmares because I astral travel when I'm asleep, so it's not a lot of fun. So what I really need is a what do you call it? It's a catcher. The dream catcher, which I've got on my chain. I used there's my dream catcher with moonstones on it. We're in a full moon right now. We're coming into, I heard today, to another reader called Starseed Zion, a moon in Gemini. I didn't realise we were in Gemini, moon in Gemini, which makes a lot of sense to me because I've been getting lots of energy in regards to channeled message for Miss Kylie Minogue. I got that yesterday. I was watching some footage of In Excess for about 3 days solid. I just kept getting drawn to it. Then I started seeing him here. Like the veil's really thin right now, and I get to see people that have passed over. I'm a psychic medium, and I saw him, and I'm like, what's he trying to tell me here? I think what I believe is that he's congratulating Miss Kylie Minogue because we're in a Gemini full moon. She's going on world tour, and he's right there beside her on the stage. That's what I got. Okay, so the first card I've pulled, and I wrote this down so it's quicker and easier, it flows better, like a script, is the Two of Swords. So your primary concern, in 2 weeks' time, feeling trapped between head and heart decisions, intellectual versus emotional, ignoring problems, putting head in sand, like an ostrich. Action is needed and indecision has held back overthinking. Let your intuition guide you. Torn between what is right for you and doing what a parent wants you for you. Look after your own heart's guidance and intuition. Choose what makes your heart sing. Because he's got a picture there with him and his mandolin, which is music. So maybe music soothes you. Maybe you need to listen to more music to calm down those fears and worries. The next card I've got is the Six of Wands. In 6 days' time, this block will disappear. You've been blocked from something that you really needed to get unblocked from. So challenges, awards, a scholarship, being awarded a medal or an award in the spotlight, public eye. You may be an actor or a singer or someone on stage. An offer of help from someone very successful at this time. Smart choices, a job well done. Do not need to be shy or humble because it is healthy to bask in the light of your own accomplishments. Be visible and vocal about your beliefs and let your unique talents shine. You are a role model, and a promotion, a new career opportunity, or an award is coming, or has just been granted. In the recent past, you've got the Strength card, which I've got here as I see it as Leo energy. So you've got the Lamb and you've got the Lion. So it's saying that there's kindness and weakness, and there's power in both. The subconscious influence is that strength with gentleness. So you can be strong, but you can also be gentle in how you deliver your messages to people. Leo energy. Power of kindness, forgiveness to yourself and others, overcoming challenges through grace and willpower, and believe in yourself. Treat others as we would like to be treated ourselves. Show kindness and respect and strength. Sensitivity is not a weakness. Then we have the Nine of Wands, which to me is the immune system. So it's like you've recently been unwell, and your immune system may have broken down because of fear. Fear can be trapped inside of our cells in our body, and that state of fear can come out in a physical sense. So you could be really worried about a job performance, or a job that you've recently started. You're brand new to it. You may have come fresh out of university into this new job that is exactly what you've been studying for a very long time, but it's like you have to learn the way they do things rather than the way you were taught at university. So there's a conflict of interest, and maybe you were scared of how it was going to go along, how you were going to fit into a new environment with a new set of problems, and not a lot of help from the people that were supposed to help you, because they thought you should know it all. Fear, I can tell you, stress and fear is what made me lose a whole bunch of weight recently. My grandfather almost died, and then my grandmother passed away in January this year, and I've been grieving the loss of her, and I think I've been really sick because of it. I've had a cold I couldn't shake. I had COVID 3-4, this is my third time that I've had COVID, and it's taken me over 3.5 weeks to get over it. I couldn't eat, I couldn't keep any fluids down, food down. I was a wreck, and so I have to now rebuild my immune system, which I'm doing with natural therapies like teas and juices, and I've been juicing, I've been cleansing with V8 juice, which has got beetroot, celery, carrot, really good. I've been drinking that, and I've been having lots of orange juice and lots of chamomile tea to help flush it out, because glandular fever, I had that as well. I had glandular fever and I had COVID. So it says here, preparing for challenges that lie ahead, having a strong immune system and keeping your resolve. Every morning as you start your day, ask God, the angels and the fairies to protect you from negative people. This is also a card that reflects environmentalists and those who love all the plants and animals of Mother Earth. Stand up for what's important to you, your causes, protecting the wildlife, the oceans and our food sources. So some of you may be activists. Then I got here the Ten of Swords, which is like 10 of Swords is 10 weeks time. You're walking away, actually you're running away from a situation that no longer serves you, whether that is at that job that just not for you, or endings are a relief. A change can be stressful and intimidating. Trust this as a healthy and necessary change. You're new, and you knew you needed to move on, but were unwilling to sever ties. Fresh future. Then we've got Five of Wands. To me, this is the Aquarian card, and it will focus. Let's try to focus. Here we go. Five of Wands. Don't know what's happening. There we go. The Five of Wands represents physical fitness. It's 5 days' time. Competitive or confrontational people around you, dealing with them is sometimes unavoidable. Interact with these people in ways that minimises the drama and maximises solutions. It's the little things that add up that annoy you. You need to go to the gym to address all the frustrations you find where you currently live. When we've got here is the Star card. Now the Star card to me is the Aquarian card, and it represents hope and health being restored. So what I put on the card was my crystal, which is the bloodstone, which attracts health and wellness. I've got this little book that here we go. Bloodstone is improved circulation, relieves fatigue, and boosts immune system. There you go. So I carry that on my person because I've been really sick with, like I said, this virus I couldn't shake, 2 viruses at once. And it's saying that you keep the bloodstone on you, along with pink rose quartz, which is, I put up here near the candle, rose quartz, which helps with immune system, love, And if to amplify that, I use my selenite. Selenite amplifies those two stones together to get healthy. And for stress, because stress is a normal thing for air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, all suffer from, they're both stress and anxiety. It's a common thing with air signs. We tend to overthink things. I would be using and praying upon, keeping on your person, this beautiful, not this big size, but a small size of amethyst, helps to relieve stress type symptoms. So healing is happening for you now. You're getting back to health. There's also a new person around you that could be an Aquarian. Faith to move mountains. If you're a Libran or a Gemini, you've got an Aquarian around you. Good fortune, spiritual joy. It says believe in yourself. You're a star on stage, whether it is acting, singing, YouTube influencing, a starry night, magical things in store for you, faith in your own abilities, healing from an illness and return to health. So that's really good news. Then you've got here the Queen of Cups. Now what I put there with the crystal is the smoky quartz to help ground that person, and it helps with depression. So that's why I like smoky quartz. And I've got my little, what would you call it, seashell. So it's saying maybe you need to go to the beach more to try and calm the mind. Because with swimming, the body needs movement, but the mind needs stillness. So swimming in the water, you're doing movement, but also there's no sound. It's stillness because you're underwater with your head's underwater, not hearing anything. So that can help switch you off, calm you down. So after the gym session, if you've got a place where you can go for a swim, I would go to either the beach or to a pool to help calm the mind and the body, because that'll just help reinforce that you need both to operate from. So with the with the smoky quartz, which I was just reading from, crystals, where are we? I just had it and then I put it back. I should have. Okay, smoky quartz. Yeah, relieves anxiety, stress, and headaches. So if you suffer with headaches because you stress so much, I know my son gets headaches, that would be the perfect thing to do, is keep a piece of smoky quartz on your person. The next card I've pulled is the balance card. This is Libra energy. So if I'm reading for a Libran, my son's a Libran, balance, hope, and fears. It's telling you to do moderation. So maybe if you go to the gym, you may overdo it and you may pull a muscle because you've tried to lift a weight that's too heavy for you. It's telling you to go back on the weight, but do more repetition to get the same result without pulling something and hurting something and then not being able to go back to the gym. So it says moderation and restraint, taking time to not rush a decision, compromise, listening to other people's viewpoints, and a win-win solution. Remove anxiety to a place of peace, combines masculine and feminine energies. So maybe you need to do the swimming is a feminine way to relax. Like it's in water is predominantly identified with women. Water is what guides us. The moon cycles guides our menstruation. So water is predominantly feminine exercise. Yoga is also another feminine quality. When I did beauty therapy, we had to find solutions for people that had high stressful jobs, and what they would recommend for people with stressful jobs is to get them to do swimming, yoga, tai chi, breath work, karate, things like that. My son's just recently started a karate kickboxing type thing. I can't remember the name, something Thai kickboxing, and it says it really helps him relieve stress. So it says you need to do something that's using your breath work. Then we've got the sun. So you may be celebrating a son's birthday, because we've got the sun and the Three of Cups, which is happiness and celebrating a son's birthday. The sun representing your son. It's a mostly likely outcome. A son's birthday party celebration. So return to health. Open your eyes and arms to beginnings being received from heaven. Brilliant new ideas will lead you to wonderful opportunities, happiness and satisfaction. And the sun is, it's joy, it's celebration, it's the spotlight. You may be in the spotlight for an award that you recently got if you're a Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Now, this deck I'm using, it's got 6 different parts. The inquiry is what I'm doing now. I'm doing the inquiry card. I'm going to pull it open, see what I get. The Ever Unfolding Rose. That's a nice card. Okay. So, because it's a new deck, I'll read it from the Ever Unfolding Rose. 24. Yes. Everything's going to be okay. Let it crack you open. Cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you most want to close it. To let life crack you open, to open through hurt and loss, to allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life well lived is full of losses and tragedies. As much as triumphs and adventures, wherever you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open, no matter how much it hurts. To continually unfold, to let life crack you open. Perhaps you're going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing. To open yourself up to the truth that perhaps as hard as it may be, life is happening for you, not to you. And one day in the not too distant future, you may bless that thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. Now's the time to go gently, to treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby, to wrap yourself in a blanket and trust that the mother has you cradled in her arms. The seas may not all be smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are held. One day, not too far from today, you will look back at this transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. Everything's going to be okay. And that's all anyone wants to be told, that everything's going to work out. It's just going to work out in a different way to what we anticipated, is what I get from these cards. Yeah. Okay, and then the next deck, that's the inquiry. Inquiry is everything going to be okay? Yes, it is. This is an action card. Let me have a look. I think it's action, and we'll just read through the book. Yeah, action card. This is what action you have to take to fix whatever's broken. Align your life. Yeah, that's what I thought too. It's out of alignment. What is not aligned or needs to change is what it's saying. So align your life is 34. Here we go. What in your life is not aligned or needs to change? What in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings in a constant state of change, of evolution, of growth. Change is one of those only certainties of life. When you resist your change, your cyclic change that you have to do, you resist life and feel stuck. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants us to be. But there comes a time when it is harder to hold that false mask, and it is to embrace who we truly are, to surrender to how we are, so we have changed, and align life to the way of being. If you pulled this card, you are being called to let go of who you once were, or the things that you once defined yourself by your job. Your job does not define you. When people come to meet you, you go to a party and they go, oh, what do you do for a living? You go, I'm a mechanic, I'm a this, I'm a that. When you don't have a job, you no longer have that job to define who you are. So I haven't worked for a while because I've been on compassionate leave. I don't have a title. Yes, I'm a beauty therapist by trade. I've done hairdressing, I've done beauty therapy, I've done disability support working, and I've been a pharmacy assistant. But that does not define who I am. I happen to like beauty therapy because I was interested in natural therapies. That's what led me there, from doing pharmacy, community pharmacy, because I was fascinated by cosmetic chemistry. Cosmetic chemistry talks about the ingredients, and what my son does, he's a cosmetic manufacturer. He's a Bachelor of Arts in Manufacturing. So him and I can talk at great lengths about ingredients and different types of acids and alkalines, because I understand that, being a beauty therapist, because cosmetic chemistry is chemistry, so we kind of get each other. So it says here, if you pulled this card, you're being called to let go of what defined you, the job, the relationship, the mask you wore, which I just said, and to embrace who you truly are now, to courageously step into the person that you came here to be in your full authentic life. Embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. Perhaps you've outgrown some relationships or circumstances, friendships you might have wanted to no longer be in, because you're changing, you're evolving. We don't keep the same people from high school and take them into the next life, because those same people from high school grow up and change as well. We're not the same people we once were, like we change and evolve. When you have children, your circle of friends changes because you no longer are hanging out with single people. So therefore you lose contact with those single people because you're at a different life stage. That's what I found when I was in Sydney. We had my son, and then we didn't hang out anymore because we were a family unit. We weren't out partying like they were, and we just had a different trajectory, and I lost my circle of friends. It was really difficult. And then I met another friend, and she didn't have children. She was my best friend, but it was hard to relate because she didn't have children. And then when she had children, we could be on the same page. It was a lot easier. She was very helpful. She helped me a lot with my son to raise him. I was very grateful for her friendship. Break the chain. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Okay, so you're breaking the chain. You may be the first person in your family to do so. Some people do have habits and ideals that pass down from one family member to the next family member, and you may be just out of the box. You may be not like the rest of your family. You could be the black sheep of your family. I know I am. Break the chain. They think I'm crazy with what I do, but so do you. I'm going to be who I am, and you're going to have to lump it. I'm the Aquarian. We march to a different drum, a different beat. Break the chain is number 60. It's an action card. It's another action card. Sorry, so the other one was inquiry card. The one before that, was confirmation card. This isn't, the other one was inquiry. It's the align your life. And this is the action card. Break the chain is 60. And it's talking about what old ways of being from your family line are you ready to let go. Seek assistance from your support team, tribe, friend, healer, coach, to begin freeing yourself from it now. Yeah, healing. You are being called to heal your family line or free yourself from living the life of your ancestors. This could mean letting go of an old pattern of your maternal or paternal line. So not following your mother's lifestyle or father's way of living. Healing trauma from the past that is not even yours, or observing old ways of being that no longer serve you. We all carry emotional trauma in our luminous field for up to 7 generations back. This is why family patterns can be the hardest to break. Often they have not even been ours to begin with. But we do not know another way of being, so we continue playing out the drama. The thing to notice when ancestral healing comes up is that you cannot heal another person, but your own healing can cause another person to choose to heal. Energy is freed up. You are being guided now to look at your life and decide how you want it to be. What ways of being or patterns are you ready to free yourself from? What part of the future do you want to rewrite? Now is the time to shake them off and dream a new future into being. So, yeah, I've not followed the path of my mother or father. I didn't get married. I had a child. We were engaged, and then we had a child. And then I never got married because I didn't like the institution and I didn't like the person. I didn't want to marry that person because he was different to what I thought he was. Because when you have children, people change. Like the woman has to have a child and then she has to grow up, But the man can choose to grow up or not. The man doesn't go through it because they're not emotionally attached to the child. They don't have to evolve. They don't have to bond with that child because women breastfeed. So they've got that bond, whereas the man doesn't get to do that. So he doesn't get to go through the changes a woman does. Very difficult to parent when you're the man and you see your wife bonding with the child, but you can't because she can't feed them. You have to use a bottle. And then there's that lack of attachment because the child wants the mother because that's its source of food, right? It's not because the child doesn't want the father. It's just that its source of food is the female. We've got Anna, grandmother of Jesus. Well, that's a nice card to pull. That's a really beautiful card. Okay, so Anna, grandmother of Jesus, is '88, which is a karmic number because 8's a karmic, and I'm an 8. I was born the 8th of February. 8's a very karmic cycle is over. Hold the card and say. The card in your heart and say, Beloved Anna, thank you for laying the foundations of the divine plan. May the seed of light within me be revealed and may I surrender to my part of the divine plan. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundations for Christ consciousness to be woven through all of life. She's not widely known, but without her, Christ consciousness would not be rising as it is today. We are reading on a Sunday. Anna represents the quiet dedication that is sometimes required to live a life of service. She represents the generations that came before that devoted their lives to dreaming a new world into being while knowing that they would not see the glorious end result. She represents the dutiful soldier, the unconditional mother, and the mystic who can see the thread that is woven through all life. Anna teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage to be significant. One person's part may be to mother their children. Another's may be to gather women in circles each month. A woman's circle, I used to be part of one, an empowerment group. No part is better or worse because more important or less significant. We each have within us a seed of light that we incarnated to share. Anna is gathering us all to remember and surrender to our part of the plan. So I'm just channeling these messages. I didn't ask for this. I died a couple of times and I come back quite differently. So now I don't have any off switch. It would be really nice if I could actually have some sleep, you know. So I'm not dreaming, I'm not astral traveling in my sleep. Through the daytime, I'm daydreaming, like it's constant since I died and came back. I have images, and I have in my peripheral vision, on my left side it's near future, in my right side it's already happened. So, saw Michael Hutchence on my right side when I was walking around, meditating, walking to the shops. I went, okay, so he's already passed away, right? So that's how I knew that he was trying to communicate with Kylie, because we're in a Gemini moon and she's a Gemini. So that's very interesting. He was trying to reach through a channel, a portal, a vessel, that would be me, because I'm open to it. He knew he could come through to me because I was watching, like I said, countless videos of him, music videos. And after I got the footage, that's when I got the imagery. That's when his spirit could come through. I allowed it to come through. He doesn't show me his last moments, like how he died. He just shows me him, a vision of him, and a past memory of his is what I got. There we are. And he changed the world. He was not your typical rock star. Oh, Mintarkan, this is one of my favourite cards. Belonging, the original light workers. So you may be an original light worker. Mintarkan. They call them highly sensitive people, and they're all over the planet. I was part of a Facebook profile recently called Highly Sensitive People. And I'm just going to... Sorry, just turn my phone off. I forgot to. Power off. So these highly sensitive people are all over the planet on Facebook. Mintarkan is 116. Yeah. Mintarkans are a soul group who originated on a planet in the constellation Orion. They were the first star beings to travel to Earth and believed to be the original lightworkers. The Mintarkans' home planet is thought to have been a water world with water so pure that you could see through it for miles. And I've had a vision of this. There's a place, I think in South Australia, that is all this water, as far as the eye can see, and there's this tiny little, it's like an island, if you will. I don't even know the name of it, but it's a place in South Australia, and that's what I think of when I think of the Mintarkans. The Mintarkans' home planet is thought to have been a water world with water so pure you could see through it for miles. For this reason, Mintarkans feel most at peace and at home when in or around crystal clear water. They are here to teach us to see the potential in everything and the light in all beings. Many Mintarkans have an odd longing for home and struggle with feeling like they don't belong. It is thought that this is due to their home planet no longer being in existence. If you pulled this card, it could mean that you are a Mintarkan or a longing for a sense of belonging. And root chakra healing is necessary for you to feel secure and safe. Perhaps you feel this longing to find home without knowing where that is. Perhaps you've been moving around a lot and yearn for a place on Earth to call your own. If so, you have been called to connect with Mother Earth and create that for yourself now. To choose where you most feel at home and create it rather than waiting for the feeling of belonging to come home. I allow myself to be truly here and at home on this planet. I release any grief around not belonging or feeling held and called into the perfect home. So it's talking about feeling isolated and not fitting in because you are different to the rest of the people on the planet. You are this, magical unicorn that runs with the horses. So, you're a bit different and not many people are going to understand or get you, and that's okay. Because there is a community of people out there, like what I've got, what I'm currently doing, that I can talk to you about these things hopefully and gain some insight from other readers so I know how to navigate the rest of the planet or the rest of the world through what I do and what I see. And it's fascinating because people don't always understand you. If you talk about these spiritual things, I should put a light up, but I didn't. If you talk about these spiritual things, that's a message for someone. Someone needs to shed some light on information that hasn't been given its room to move, or shed light on a situation. Something's going to come to the surface from the subconscious, which will put a different spin on why and how come you're in a position right now where you trying to re-establish yourself as who you truly are, your authentic self. if you try to live your life according to a parent's plan, male or female, then you will live your life that is not yours. You're living your life to satisfy their ego, what they want for you. You've got to do what you want for you, and then the rest will follow. Happiness comes from within. You can't go looking for it in another person or a job. It's got to come from within. You've got to be happy in yourself before you can attract the right person to you. Happiness is an inside-out job. You're working from the inside out. I've been doing a lot of healing through going to spiritual churches, talking with communities, seeing a counsellor, and I find that the more I talk to my psychologist, the better I get, because I look at life differently, and I can recognise patterns of behaviour, and I can recognise gaslighting, I can recognise someone trying to make me feel smaller than what I am, and I just cut it off. If I don't want to be bothered, if I actually want a day off to rest, that's today, I don't answer my phone. I just hung up my phone. Now, I'm not doing it to be mean, I'm not doing it to be cold. It's just sometimes I need downtime because I've got so much stuff coming at me all the time, like in my sleep as well as through the daytime, that I just can't. I've got no energy to give to anyone else at the moment. And it's called self-care. It's a form of self-care to not answer the phone, be on, you're off duty. It's like you're not on 24/7, you can't be. So sometimes you have to physically switch off the communication because you need to sleep, you need to rest, your brain needs to rejuvenate. So when I see these visions, and sometimes they're not great, they're scary visions, I just won't look at them. I'll put my sunglasses on, my head down, I won't pay attention to them. But the good things I see, I pay attention to them. So that's what I have for you today. I hope this helps someone out there for air signs.